Okay. So, as you reflect back on your lesson from yesterday, how do you think overall it went?
Okay, overall I think it went well, but there was definitely some parts that I would have done differently or changed for next time.
Okay. So what were some of the things that, let's talk about the things that went well. What were some of the things that went well?
Okay, we started off with that word ladder that I said we do every day, kind
Right.
of like a warm-up, and Kelsey really likes them. They kind of, just warm her up and allow her to practice all the, the sounds, the vowel sounds, things like
Right.
that, so she likes those. So that went well. For the CH sound, the sound symbol text went well. She was able to read it and go over it with me and correctly pronounce all the words that had the CH in it. What else did we do? And I also let her go on Starfall yesterday for the first time, and she seemed to really like that. There was one game on there that had to do with the CH sound. So
that's good.
She did well with that. And then for fluency, she's still, has having a lot of fun with the Reader's Theater. Her fluency is getting better. We talked about, because some of the words in her lines are bolded.
Oh, okay.
So, to emphasize those words and things like that, so she's catching on to that. And writing, yesterday we finished revising and started actually publishing her writing piece. So.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pretty much the word ladder went well, and the sound symbol book, reading that, the CH sound, and she likes Reader's Theater, and her fluency is improving. What were some of the things that you think maybe didn't go as planned or didn't go as well as you wanted to?
Let's see. For comprehension, I chose a poem instead of the tree book. I'm going to do the tree book tomorrow, but so that's one thing that I did switch, but I chose a poem.
Okay.
And at first I thought it was going to be too difficult. I was reading it out loud to her, but then kind of as we went through it, we kind of broke it up, and I reread it to her and things like that. So she came around with it at the end. So I don't know if it was good to push her in that way or not, but I just felt with support that it would be okay. And then when I asked her to write a couple sentences, I don't know if I put that in there or not, but she had some trouble with that. She doesn't like to elaborate on what she's visualized. She'd rather just draw it and talk about it. She doesn't want to write about it.
So why do you think she doesn't want to write about it? Is it just...
I know she doesn't really like to write to begin with. She is enjoying the story, but that was more based off her choice. Right. I think since there's not a lot of choice in the sentence writing, that she doesn't really like it. And she gets very hung up on her spelling. And then she gets frustrated and doesn't want to write, so.
Okay. So why did you decide, you said you switched from the book to the poem. Why did you decide to switch to the poem?
Basically just because I've been doing I think we've done about 3 read-alouds or so with visualizing. And I just wanted to give her a different genre.
Okay.
So I just include some poetry in there.
Okay. So we talked about you pretty much planned, what you did matched what you planned besides just switching the one book to a poem. So if you think about the goals for this lesson, your objectives, do you think she met the objectives?
Yeah, she was definitely able to recognize and decode the CH sound. She's improving her oral fluency through Reader's Theater. When we did the poem, we looked closely at the words in the text, and she kind of pointed to words or told me words that helped her visualize. So she was able to do that, with support, not independently, but so I would, still think I need to work on that with her.
Right.
And then we revised her writing to include more sensory details. We used that chart with the 5 senses, and she seemed to like it. I thought she was going to be hesitant because she doesn't like to go back in her writing, but I think because we kind of did it together, she didn't mind as much. But
right. So do you think? Have you noticed now reading, since you're reading for visualization and talking about senses, is helping her to apply that into her own writing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the connection I was trying to make.
Right.
To her, especially in that day, because that was the day she was also revising her writing.
Okay.
So the connection to the poem, and then trying to get her to realize that, the readers of your story want to be able to visualize too, and you have to put those words and phrases in there to help. So I think she that helped her motivate.
Yeah.
Helped her with her motivation a little bit.
Now, do you model for her? Do you model how to write it, using sensory details first and then have her?
I did a couple of the blocks first. we used her writing, but I would say, why don't you put this here maybe, you could put something that you're seeing or tasting.
Right.
And then by the end, she was really telling me, oh, I want to add this here, I want to do that there. So I wasn't expecting that, but I was happy with that.
That's a nice surprise. All right, so I know you wanted me to look for your questioning. So I watched the word work part of your lesson, and you had about 7 knowledge questions and 1 comprehension question. So a lot of the questions, some of them that I wrote down were, what sound does the CH make? Is it only at the beginning of the word? Do you see it at the end? What pictures do you see? Where is the CH sound in this word? I track 2 was she successfully answering the questions. So she was pretty successful with most of them, except in the very beginning when you asked her, is it only at the beginning? She said no, but then when you asked her that question again after you went through, she realized it. And then the comprehension, you asked her to explain the puppet show, I guess, like something from the day before. And she didn't remember at first, but then once you prompted her, she was like, oh, yeah. So do you think that the higher level questioning was difficult because you were doing word work?
Yeah, I mean, it is something that I know I should be more mindful of to begin with, but I find it easier to do it like with comprehension versus word work. But
comprehension and writing.
Yeah, and writing. I'm not really sure how I would have done it with word work, but I guess.
I know, like it says, like the application, or I don't know if you could have, like, ask her in a way to apply it to her reading and writing, or is she applying it to her reading and writing? Like, do you see that she's...
I mean, now that we're later in the lessons, we are, but in the beginning, that was only the second day.
Right.
I wasn't, quite at that point with her, but...
Right. Yeah, I guess with the word work, it's kind of hard to think of how you would ask those higher level thinking questions. I did notice that she kept the one picture where it was a chest. She kept saying treasure, and she said that like multiple times, and she would look, and it was almost that she knew, because she would go, treasure.
I know,
she would
she
look
did it
at
again
you.
today too.
Oh, she did it today. Do you think
just
it's
kept
just
telling her to, look at the word and make sense of it. Don't look. She relies on the people around her, I think, a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get her off of that.
Right.
There's clues here. There's a picture. There's clues in the word. Trying to get her to use some of those strategies besides just asking for help right away.
Right. I mean, I think she is, and she does use the strategies. Like, she is sounding out the words when I was watching the video I saw. But that one, I don't know what it was about that one picture, that one word, she just kept saying treasure.
Because I think she was looking at the picture and just saying treasure. And not even looking at the word.
Right. Right. All right, so I guess that's it. We won't be meeting again. Farewell.
See you later.
All right.